Hey guys, Delt here. Today's video is going to be a little different than normal, but I think it's something that needs to be talked about. Rogues were nerfed again. These nerfs were specifically targeting Smoke Pot. The skill now only has 3 charges and reduces the move speed penalty. So instead of losing 60 move speed for running through smoke, you're only losing about 30. While these nerfs were justified because it was basically the only skill being used at the time and people were running around in budget kits stealing loot from players who rightfully fought for it with almost no ability to be able to be chased down or punished for it, by the way. My main concern is that it was really the only viable option for rogues to use, and people who enjoy the class and want to PvP with it are the ones who are suffering the most. And again, don't get me wrong, the skill was insanely strong and it probably needed nerfs. But what are rogues supposed to do now? They're mainly a physical class and they start with 75 health, minus 30% physical power, and minus 25% magical power. To start scaling, you need strength and will to do damage if you're running poison weapons. But if you take a fight without any vigor, you still have a chance to get one shot by people who are even semi-geared. 75 health. Compare this to a fighter who in base kit has 100 health and is sitting at a flat 0% for both physical and magical power. If I haven't sold you yet, let's take it even further. A wizard who is naked. I had to take my gear off so I can't add in the 2 magical power they get from their hat and their shoes. Has 81 health, minus 25% physical damage, still higher than a rogue, and a positive 12.5% magical damage bonus. In base kit, a rogue should lose to both of these classes just looking at stats alone. Then let's think about abilities. Wizards have Ignite for melee, haste to increase move speed, and a variety of different ways to outplay any class from a range. A fighter has Sprint that gives 50 move speed to chase down a rogue. Now fighters start with 292 move speed and rogues start with roughly 296. I had to do calculations and I'm bad at math, so if I'm wrong, my bad. A rogue can't win the melee due to stats. They do less damage, they have less health, they can't get away because of sprint, and fighters have second wind, so they basically have 1.5 health bars if played correctly. This leaves rogue with just one playstyle in base kit, ratting around the map, hiding from players. Smoke Pot was great for them because it was negative 60 move speed roughly and can disrupt vision and sound. And it was one of their only getaway tools that they can now only use 3 times per match. Smoke Pot was a problem, but it was also the rogue's only viable option of surviving the game. In my opinion, that's probably changed now to being Caltrops, and I've been testing it out in solos, and I honestly like it. It's minus 50% move speed, which is insane, but you're not getting the added bonus of the smoke, interrupting sound, and interrupting vision. We'll just have to see how the game develops and what updates happen, and maybe this will change, but I've been liking Caltrops a lot. And also, don't get me wrong, I understand the other side of this argument too. If rogues are too strong in base kit, ambush or landmine rogues will be the meta that absolutely nobody wants to see. It's not fun to one-shot someone else or to be one-shot by someone else. It's really not. There's no skill expression in that, and it just makes rogues the noob-friendly class. And when it's nerfed again, people are going to complain because they won't know how to play the game in any other way. So I have a few recommendations for rogue. If you love or if you hate these ideas, please let me know down in the comments. I'm just trying to open up a discussion. Or if you have your own ideas, feel free to let me know those too. My recommendation is for rogue to gain some, emphasis on some, more damage and move speed in their base kits. This will help them survive, clear, and maybe have more opportunities to fight rather than just third partying. However, invis would also need to be changed. A lot of other YouTubers and streamers are wanting invis to be taken out of the game, and very understandably so, because if you're playing rogue now and you're spending thousands and thousands of gold on a kit, they are still capable of being landmines. However, my recommendation is to make stealth more realistic. There needs to be a certain level of darkness around them, so then they can stealth. This is already somewhat in the game, because you can't use that skill while having a torch or lantern in your hand. So adding a limiter to this and forcing rogues to turn off lamps, stay in dark places of the map, etc. will both give them the option of using a one-shot build, and it'll give other people a viable way to play against it. Think about it. If you're on your fighter and you run into an area of the map where you know is typically light, you can just throw your torch and ta-da, just like that. If the rogue stealth already, he's revealed. If the rogue is smart, he won't have used his invis yet. He'll wait for you to throw the torches, pick them up, invis, and then he can use stealth, ambush, whatever he wants to do. The fighter can choose to take the fight and run in swinging, and if he dies, that's his fault, or he can just leave. There's nothing saying he has to go that way. This is a game where you can choose a variety of different paths to get where you need to go, and I personally believe that this is the best option to help rogues in general. It'll give them a way to be played in that sneaky playstyle, and it'll give them a way to be played against in that sneaky playstyle. My other two options are still increasing their useful base stats, but either getting rid of invis or making it to where you can't invis within a certain distance of other players. That way, it's more of like a premeditated action, like you think you're going to be coming up to someone, rather than a reaction to get boosted damage from ambush because someone started running at you and you don't know what to do, so you just stealth and then immediately turn around and start stabbing them in the face. All in all, the most important thing to take away from this, in my opinion, is that if invis stays in the game exactly how it operates right now, rogues are always going to be weak until they are insanely strong. You're always going to be weak in base kit. You're always going to be weak in mid-tier gear. But once you start to spend thousands of gold, you get ad fizz, you get a bunch of strength, you get a bunch of ad move speed on your gear, you're going to be fine. It's just getting there. And so for the average player, that's just a rough time to be on a rogue. So rogue's just going to be a bunch of players who know how to play the game and will rat around until they're strong enough to one-shot. If you agree with this and you want to see Iron Mace make rogues great again, then please just like this video, share it to other people. I really want to see the class in a playable spot, but right now, I'm gonna be honest, I've been playing it a decent amount just to see my own thoughts before making this video, and I've been doing it without invis, and honestly, without invis, if you bring a hand crossbow, you bring rupture, and then you can either bring caltrops or the silent skill, they still feel fine. They're a little weak. You die really quickly, so you need to pick your engages very carefully, but other than that, you can just kite around with your hand crossbow, and honestly, it doesn't feel that bad. I personally just think they need a little nudge in the right direction, and if that happens, invis also needs to be slightly changed as well. So yeah, if you like the idea behind this video, please just give me a like or share the content with other people, because the more people who see it, the more likely it'll be to get to Iron Mace. I know I'm not a big streamer, but I feel like this is really important for the game in general. Class balance is something that's going to keep everyone involved for a long time. And if one class feels too weak or if another class feels too strong, it's just not really going to work out and people are going to get upset with it. And it's been something that's been happening for a while. Rogue is just sort of on the bad end of it right now. All right, and that's just going to be it for this video. I just wanted to have a little talk about rogues and class balance and how I think it could be changed. So if you enjoyed the content, if you could just subscribe to the channel. I put content out weekly. I'm definitely not the biggest tryhard player. I'm just trying to share the knowledge that I have accrued with everyone else, so that way everyone can get better at this game. I think I hit Voyager 2 on Bard and just sort of decided to stop and play other classes. I got every class other than Ranger to Pathfinder because I have bad aim and I didn't want to play Ranger. So yeah, please just consider subscribing to the channel for more content every Monday through Friday. Also, if you want to join a community of people who really enjoy playing the game and want some other people to play with that are nice and friendly, then I'm going to have my Discord link in the description below. Just feel free to click on that, come by and say hello. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Peace.